This is Lake Bled, a hidden gem in the heart of Slovenia. Nestled in the Julian Alps, it's picture perfect. A glacial lake renowned for its clear waters, surrounded by ethereal forests and towering mountains on the horizon. It has castles and churches, trails and paths for all walkers, runners and cyclists, regardless of their level. Water sport is an obsession here. Both Olympic and world-class championships have been held here, but it's also used by amateurs for paddleboarding, rowing and swimming in the lake. We spent 5 days here. It wasn't enough. We'll definitely be back, and there will be 2 videos on this location, simply because there was too much to do, and to try and cram them into one wouldn't have done this beautiful place justice. It's truly amazing, and goes straight into our top 5 favourite European destinations from the 20 European countries we've travelled to. Well, I've arrived on this site and got all set up, and it's quite a lovely site actually. In fact, then I have to confess we went and had what we call a Churchill. If you don't know what a Churchill is, it's an afternoon nap. It's what Winston Churchill used to do every day. He used to work late, of course. Not something we do regularly, but we didn't have a great night's sleep last night. The facility we were on, the camping air, we had to be off by 6:30 because they were starting some works on it. The trouble is, even though I awake normally, I'm always awake at 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's surprising when you've got to be awake how you don't sleep the same. I wake up naturally at 4:30, 4:45 every day without any problem. But for some reason last night we're all clock watching because we were told under no uncertain terms that if we weren't away by 6:30, then there potentially would be problems in terms of not getting off. Now, whether that meant heavy vehicles or what, but when we arrived there were signs up saying actually blocking the motorhome service area. So we did a bit of a deal, and thanks to Helen's language skills. I'm really delighted to be here for 2 reasons really. One is that it was my father's favourite site. The thing I had in common with him more than anything else in life was caravanning and motorhoming. And the place he loved the best to bring his caravan was this here, Lake Bled, on this side, in this location, and it was his favourite place. So I'm quite pleased to be here for that. But secondly, as a photographer, there is the church in the middle of the lake, which I'm really looking forward to photographing. And I'm hoping to do it at sunset and sunrise and various times while I'm here, which I'll take you along with that. So I'm really happy to be here. We're going to get a bite to eat now and a cup of tea, and then we're going to go off and walk around the lake. So this is the shot I've come to take, the famous church in the centre of Lake Bled. And whilst it's too early yet for the sunset, you never know, so I'm get set up and I'm ready. Patience is the thing.
First night at Camping Bled, and I have to say I'm really impressed. We've had a lovely meal in the restaurant that overlooks the lake. The lake is absolutely as clear as a bell, and there's 1 or 2 brave people swimming in it. It does look a bit on the chilly side to me, if I'm honest, so I don't think I'll be brave in it, but you never know. And it's lovely because you can just hear the church bells ringing in the background.
Well, there's no cloud, but there is a nice pinky tinge to the sky over there. We'll see what it comes like. I'm going to try my best and get a couple of shots, and if they're any good I'll show you, if they won't I won't.
The actual lake here itself is glacial in origin. It's 2,121 metres long and 1,380 metres wide. And Bled Island that you can see out there is the only natural island in Slovenia.
Good morning. Well, we've abandoned the idea of a run this morning. We just thought, well, since we're just on top of the lake, and it's too good an opportunity not to have all the cameras with us. So we've got a telephoto lens, a street camera and video camera, which obviously you can't carry when you're running. So, bit of a change of plan, and it's still early, about 12 degrees though, it's still cool at the moment.
This is the start of the path that we hope runs all the way around the lake. It's about just over 3 miles to go all the way around. And this morning we've seen runners, cyclists, people on scooters, some of them on the way to work, others just enjoying a morning stroll. Bled's a very smart, clean and well-maintained place. The borders are very nicely planted out. It's very smart. It's lovely. The paths all the way around the lake are very well maintained. There's restaurants all the way around, and you can sit out and enjoy the best views of the lake. There's 1 or 2 different ways to get to Bled Island. You can row yourself. There's places where you can hire a rowing boat. You can get a paddleboard even. Or you can let somebody else do the work and go across on one of these boats. These boats are called plentners. They are 7 metres long and 2 metres wide, and they transport you for the fee of €18 per person over to the island. Now, historically in the 12th century, at the time of the Empress Maria, this right was only given to 20 local families, and they were the only ones that were allowed to take people over to the island. Now, you can come down here, get on the boat. There's no schedule. You pay your money, and they wait until the boat's full, and then they'll take you across to the island and hopefully bring you back. Not sure if you can quite see this, but the first tourist boats are getting over to the island and they're stopping at the bottom of the steps. So I can presume that must be the 99 steps that take you up onto the island and up to the church.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That was a good night's sleep.
Very good.
I think it was a couple of pints of Bavarian beer, especially shipped into Slovenia, I think. It was good. So we are off and up today. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to go up to the viewpoints. There's 3 viewpoints around the lake that give you an elevated view of the church and the castle. It's about 10 miles, I think, so we're going to head off and do that first thing. This is quite special. There, look at that. That's a proper view, isn't it?
All good panoramas have a map, and there's one just here which I'll show you that gives you the height of where we are. Yep, so it gives you the height of where we are at 685 metres, and it gives you the mountain range behind you, and it puts everything into perspective as to where we are. So all the little towns, and then obviously we're overlooking, if I look straight up from the actual map itself, you can see the church, and then the actual town of Bled is in the far distance, and on the hill you've got the castle. Beautiful. The dog will always find the line of least resistance and the quickest way down because she's got 4-wheel drive, whereas we tend to take it a little bit steadier.
just love these boats. The guys are using two oars, unlike a traditional Venetian punting boat. And you have to have a special qualification to do it, and licensed to do it.
One of the great things about going around Lake Bled is that there's apart from when the bells ring at the right time, there's this lovely footpath all the way around. And if you just want to stop for a coffee and an ice cream, you can do that. If you fancy quite a posh meal, you can sit and do that as well. It caters for just about everybody. Whether you've got a pushchair, a dog, whether you're running, walking, whatever you want to do, it caters for everybody around here.
Bled Castle is one of the oldest castles in Slovenia and has a history dating back over 1,000 years. In fact, it was first mentioned in written records around 1100 AD. It stands over the lake at 426 feet high, and its vantage point is one of its main attractions. The castle now houses a museum with some dodgy looking characters and a display of some medieval weapons and information about the site's early settlements and castle life. The chapel is dedicated to St Martin, which dates back to the 16th century and still to this day used for weddings and other celebrations. There are several restaurants in the castle grounds, and of course a substantial wine cellar. The walk from Bled itself is very steep and up quite steep stairs, but vehicle access is possible if mobility is an issue. We'd recommend coming up here. It's certainly worth the view. What you got there, H?
A trip to a different country would not be the same without a cuddly toy.
There might be a problem.
Yes, I think the dog's quite taken a fancy to it. Not exactly sure who Stan is, but apparently if I walk for 20 minutes this way, I'll find out exactly.
Wasn't he in an Eminem song?
Stan? You see, every time I think Stan, I always think Stanley Laurel and Hardy.
No, I think Stan Ogden. That was the last time I watched Coronation Street.
What, and Hilda's Muriel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still in it? Or?
Probably not,
no,
to
okay.
be fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we're going back. Scott's got the app on his phone. And again, another uphill bit. And then we should, all being well, drop back down to the campsite, which, looking over to my left, is actually, you can see, just down there. So that's the beach area. And then there's a children's play area with some sort of volleyball court. And that's the entrance to the site, just there on the right-hand side. Okay, so Stan's to the left. Yeah. Yeah, we're following Stan. And Arnold's Heights. Again, whoever Arnold is. And obviously to the lake. I'm not entirely certain whether I need to be singing "We're going on a bear hunt," or "If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise." And I'm not certain which of those two songs is appropriate, given the fact that, like Martin said, there's bears and one or two other things around here. We have heard, I have to say, some very loud noises early evening time when we've been on the site. So who knows, they could be around here.
So I use this outdoor app. I'll put the details below when we're walking. It's the one I've got. It's the best I've come across outside of the UK and the Ordnance Survey map app, should I say, which I think is great. But I use this while I've got a phone signal just to keep us on the path, and then I also, generally, if I can get a paper map I will, but it's not always possible. But I do carry a GPS handheld as well, so if I get lost I can use the satellite signal to map. So that's as good as a handheld map, or at least it's a good alternative. But today I've got, as I often find when we're away, even down here, good 5G signal, and the app's working well. It's put a dot on, tells me where I am, tells me I'm on the map that I've set for myself, the route that I've planned, and off we go. And it just makes it a little bit less stressful and worry about whether you're going to find the way or not.
This is today's last viewpoint, and we're literally, like I've just said, above the campsite. And as you can see to the right hand side of the island just here, you've got the plenters, the boats. coming in where they moor and let the tourists get off and go up and explore the church. And then on the left-hand side, you've got the people that have gone up on rowing boats that they've hired and paddle boards to try and explore the island and the church as well. What a view, what a walk. It's been a fabulous day.
Well, that's us back off the hill, enjoying a beer in the bar. We just ordered lunch. So we're going to chill out, we'll pick you up again in the morning. In part 2, Ellen takes the boat across the lake to delve deeper into the history of the church there and the events that have shaped its fable. I set out through the forest on my electric mountain bike, literally upwards, about 5,000 feet in fact, through the forest trails. It was positively ethereal in atmosphere and it was a wonderful experience. We'll hope you'll join us. See you in the next one.